Guys, in this video we're going to take a few minutes to do an unboxing of a little something that I got from Bear Creek Arsenal. This is the BCA Grizzly. So come with us, guys. We're just going to jump right in and get this opened up. I would appreciate it, guys, if you would like and subscribe to my channel. Like the video, share the video, all that kind of fun stuff. And if you're interested in becoming a channel member, you can do that over on my main channel. And I just want to take a minute to shout out my channel members. Thanks for what you guys do. So let's go ahead and get into this. This is the receipt from the store, so we're going to set that over there. First thing that you notice here, the box, it's just a cardboard box. Nothing too fancy, but just a standard BCA box, Bear Creek Arsenal. Again, you're not going to pay for anything that you don't need. You're basically going to get just the gun and what comes with it. You do get a sticker. That's one thing about it as well. They do send these stickers out. And I'm going to set that over to the side. There is a section of the foam here, and this is something that they do in a lot of their guns, is they actually have a section of the foam that has a bear claw cut out in it. I think it's kind of a nice little touch. I think it is something that it's kind of unique to what they do as far as their packaging. And we have the gun itself, but before we get too far into the gun, I want to go ahead and get through the rest of the stuff in the box, so be sure to stick around in the video, and we're going to be jumping right into it. So we're just going to set that over to the side. I'm going to remove this foam, and we're going to look a little more at what we get in here. Of course, it comes with 2 magazines in the box, and I want you to look at these magazines, guys. Okay, do these look familiar? I think that they look very familiar. Okay, they look just like a Glock mag. In fact, I don't know that you'd notice the difference in it if it wasn't for the base plate. And you know, the name stamped on those, you can see here, if I can get it to show up on camera the way that it should. And of course, it also has the caliber on the top, but it's basically a Glock mag. We're going to get 2 of those in the box. We have our instruction manual. Now, Bear Creek Arsenal does a pretty good job on all of their manuals. This is a very large manual, so that's good, just to kind of give you an idea. And you can see there, Grizzly. We'll just thumb through it real quick. And of course, all the warnings and stuff like that. So we'll just set that over to the side as well. You get your usual bicycle lock that is a waste of time, that nobody ever does anything with other than throw away. Looks like we get a couple more stickers, guys. Here we see here a couple more Bear Creek Arsenal stickers, so that's a nice little touch. Those will be stuck around on my safe. But let's get this out of the way and let's look at the gun. Of course, we do our safety check. Currently no magazine in the gun, and there is nothing in the chamber whatsoever. This gun is basically a Glock Gen 3 clone with a lot of added features. There are some other things that we're going to look at in this. I'm going to actually compare it to one of my other Glocks. But you can see here, I'm actually very impressed with the way that this gun is set up, particularly the price range. This is what you might consider a budget firearm. But the price, the features that you get, it's outstanding. I'm very impressed with it, and I look forward to getting it out to the range, which I'm going to be doing in a future video, so be sure to subscribe to the channel, and that will be coming very shortly. One of the things that I do know about BSA Grizzly is the fact that they have changed the angle of the grip. Glock has been criticized by some people that do not like the grip angle. Bear Creek Arsenal, one of the things that they did is they decreased that grip angle, and we'll look at that here in just a moment. Polymer, the trigger on this, and this is something that surprised me as well. The take up on that trigger, you get to the wall about like there, about right there. Typical Glock, you're all familiar with how a Glock trigger feels, and when you get to that wall there, when you press, it goes through. And I'll have to say, I think that there's actually a little less sponginess in this trigger than there is in a lot of the Glocks that I've shot. Again, you got that take up, you hit that wall right there, it breaks, then the reset is approximately right there. So very good reset, you know, especially for what this is. It feels good. This has got some kind of like a bear skin, I think it's what they call it, their bear skin finish. You can kind of see a little bit of the design here, a little bit on how that grip is designed on that front strap, you know, where you can get a good grip on it, a good high grip. There's not a lot of the back strap on this, but it's pretty much what you would find on a Glock. And just moving on, we can see that we do have serrations in the front. We've also got some cuts, some window cuts and things like that on the slide that will help reduce the weight. This is an RMR cut to where you could put an optic on it. The sights that come on it, they do have like a blue cast to them. It's a metal sight. That's something that is very nice for this type of firearm. I know that Glock gets criticized for the sights that they put on their guns being plastic for most cases, but this sight here, it's metal. Okay, you can see the logo on the side of it here. You can see that they do have the Bear Creek Arsenal logo on it. If I can get the camera to focus in the way that it should, you can see the logo there on that sight. You know, and again, just a 3-dot sight, but it will work for what it is. Now let's do a comparison. This is my Glock 45. Of course, this is the Glock 19 length slide with the Glock 17 length grip, and I currently have it unloaded for the purposes of this video, as you guys can see, for you safety Sallies out there. And this is a gun that is regularly carried by me. This gun feels good in my hands. I'm very comfortable with this gun. I've been on the range with it through countless sessions, and this is a gun that works very well. Now, the difference between these two, basically, we're just going to look at some of the similarities, some of the differences. This is a Glock 17 sized firearm. Bear Creek Arsenal does have these out in the Glock 19 size. I chose the Glock 17 size simply because of my hands. You can see here how my hands, when I grip that pistol, even though I can grip a Glock 19 just fine, I like that little extra length in that grip. And that's something that I forgot to mention also. This does have a slightly flared mag well, as you can see there on the base of that, to help with the reloads. But now, getting back to the Glock, I want to show you a comparison between these two guns. Okay, again, this is my Glock 45 that has the Glock 19 length slide and the Glock 17 length grip. We're going to go ahead and line these up just to kind of see the size difference on these guns. And you can see that the Bear Creek Arsenal Grizzly, once I get this lined up right, let me just put my finger back here to where I can keep them even. You can see that, of course, it is the Glock 17 length slide. But let's look at that grip angle. And if I can get these even and held even the way that I want, you guys will get just a little bit better understanding of what I'm talking about when I mention that grip angle. You can see here how it is, that grip angle. You can see that the Glock has a little bit more of an angle to it than what the Grizzly does. Okay, that means your wrist is going to be a little further forward when you're gripping that Glock compared to what it would be on the Grizzly. Okay, I believe that this is supposed to be like a 20-degree grip angle or something like that. But, you know, there again, you can feel the difference in it. And that texturing does feel very good. You know, that stippling that most people would do already comes on this gun, basically. You know, the bear skin, I believe is what they call this, does have the logo for Bear Creek Arsenal engraved into that as well. And it feels good in the hands. Now, I just want to show you a little something as well. Okay, this magazine, of course, this is a Glock mag. This is the magazine that come out of my Glock 45. Just to show you, we're going to take this magazine and we are going to insert it into the Grizzly. Okay, it locks in just fine. If I cycle that action, it locks that open because there, of course, is no ammunition in this gun. It is typical Glock. Now we're going to go ahead and do a quick disassembly on this to show you a little further detail of that. And for the YouTube censors, for the YouTube reviewers, according to your own policies, what we're about to do is within your guidelines. Basically, this is how we would field strip a firearm for the purposes of cleaning and maintenance. And the way that you would do that, just like with any Glock, safe direction, you double check to make sure that there is nothing in that chamber. You will press that trigger. Once you have done that, grip it slightly and you have that takedown lever on both sides. You're going to grip that. You're going to pull back ever so slightly on that slide, pull down on those, and then slide the frame and the slide apart just like that. And let's look at the frame. You can see here, for those of you all who are familiar with Glocks, you will recognize everything in here because it is just typical Glock as all that we see through here. Okay, it does have a total of, I believe, 3 pins on this that hold everything in place. I'm sure some of you guys out there that are much more familiar with some of the older generation Glocks can add more detail down in the comments below, guys. I would appreciate it if you did. And there's one thing that I do want to show you when I go to put this back together that we will pause for a minute to talk about when we get there. But you can see here the just everything that's in this. It's typical Glock. Let's go ahead and look at the slide, look at the barrel. Here is your recoil spring and guide rod. It is a captive recoil spring, as you can see there. The barrel is unique. You've already noticed that. The way that this one is, it is fluted. I think that that is a real cool design, especially with those window cuts on the slide. I really like how that looks. I think that gives a nice little flair to this gun. We're going to go ahead and set that back in place. I'm going to insert the guide rod and recoil spring. Make sure that I get it installed properly, getting it on that right ledge, okay, to where I don't have any issues when it goes back together. Okay, now that we have that back together, we're going to take the slide and the frame and put it back together. Now, this is what I wanted to mention. When you go to put one of these back together with a Glock, you can simply slide it apart, slide it back together, and it will lock with no problem. One thing I noticed on this is when you try to do that, you're going to basically get to a point to where it's not going to go all the way back on. What you need to do is simply pull down on these takedown notches again. Just watch how easy this is. I pull down on those and it slides right back in place. So if you get one and you are fighting trying to get it back together, if you disassemble it for cleaning, that is something that you'll need to do. It's just a very simple step for whatever reason. And of course we will function test the gun, safe direction, it cycles, and then we have our click, so we would know that we are good to go. And guys, this is just a quick overview that I wanted to do. Let me know your thoughts on this gun. I like the way that this ledge is as well. When you are not shooting, keeping your finger off of that trigger and out of the trigger guard, that is a nice little feature. I really like that. That way it can kind of help give you a guide to where you can keep your finger out of that trigger guard when you do not need it. Also, with your support hand, it's a little bit of a gas pedal to where you can keep that recoil down on the gun. Very nice. I'm very glad to have it. I'm very impressed. This is the first time that I've had one of these in my hands. I like how it feels. I like how it looks. There's a lot of different features and styles that you can get in these. And if you're watching over on Rumble, you will be able to go down in the description there and see more detail on that. But if you're watching on YouTube, you can go over to my Rumble channel and find that there. Very nice gun. I look forward to getting it to the range. And just to show you as well, we're going to take this is the Glock mag, or this is not the Glock mag, and we're going to take my Glock 45, same technique. We're going to put that magazine in there, and you can see that the magazine for the Grizzly, it's just typical Glock. It's all it is. It is a Glock clone without the Glock price. Let's just put it that way. I think that's the easiest way to put it. Okay, you can see the magazines here side by side, and they are identical, guys, except for the follower on the Glock, and as well as the base plates. But other than that, if you were looking at these, you would swear it's a Glock mag. Just a few of the engraving, and that's it. You know, looking at it from the side or whatever, typical Glock. Guys, just a quick overview, a quick comparison that I wanted to do to show you guys this firearm. I look forward to getting it to the range. I know it's going to be fun, and I look forward to spending a lot of time down there shooting it and bringing you guys along. So be sure to subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell for when that video comes out. But for now, guys, I'd appreciate it if you would like and share the video, subscribe to my channel, check out all the links down below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.